Okay, so I think this light just makes me look really shiny because I don't feel like it makes me look like I'm really greasy. But I think it just overexposes the parts of my face that it looks at. If I put down, now it just looks like I'm in some weird orange world. I don't know. Welcome to Magic Mondays with Mary Margaret. Mornings with Mary Margaret. Magic Mondays. Oh wow. Yeah. Gotta hit the coffee hard this morning. I'm going into work again today. So before I do that, it's time to open. You know what I learned the other day? Ben, my husband, knows every single one of these people. He knows them by name. So when you see him next, make fun of him for that because that's funny to me. I guess he just reads. Well, it's funny to me because he has this habit of reading the Wikipedia page for all sorts of things instead of like he'll read the Wikipedia page of books, or he'll read the Wikipedia page of video games, or he'll read the Wikipedia page of movies instead of like playing the video game or reading the book or watching the movie. It's just his preferred method of ingesting culture is through a Wikipedia page. And so I like to make fun of him for that. And he has read the Wikipedia page of, I'm guessing, the War of the Spark, but who knows? Could be anything. Anyway, let's dive right into it because it took me a long time last week. So I believe what we did last time was we started with creatures. So let me. Ooh, interesting stuff. Now I don't have. I mean, I have the stuff in front of me that we did last week, but I don't like remember it. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Sorry, I'm looking ahead. I'm cheating. Okay. So let's start with the characters. We've got Loxodon Sergeant. Costs 4, is a white creature, 3/3. Costs 4 for a 3/3. Sort of interesting. It has vigilance, which means attacking does not tap it. So you can attack with it and then also block with it on your next turn. When Loxodon Sergeant enters the battlefield, other creatures you control gain vigilance until the end of the turn. So that's nice. Because then you can attack with all of your things. Now, what's interesting is this does not have haste. So it cannot attack on its first turn regardless of its vigilance, but it gives vigilance to everything else that's already on the field. So that's nice. 4 for a 3/3. Don't know how I feel about that. It's not bad. Sort of. Kioria's Dam Breaker. Oof, look at the art on this one. It's a very big serpent. It costs 6. Is blue. When Kioria's Dam Breaker enters the battlefield, proliferate. So choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of one kind, of each kind that they already have. So say you've gotten a card, when we've seen a couple of these before that say like add +1/+1 counter to army or a creature or whatever. There are also counters that are like -1/-1 counters that you can put on players, poison counters that you can put on players, I mean. -1/-1 counters that you can put on creatures. Other counters, I assume. I haven't run into very many of them, but there's lots of different kinds of counters. Poison counters. There's lots of kinds of counters you can put on players, or players can put on themselves. So if you want to increase the number of those that you have in yourself or on another, this is a good one. I've seen a lot of proliferates, and proliferate is the kind of ability that it is. I've seen a lot of them in the War of the Spark packs, so seems to be a thing. Moving on. Chain Whip Cyclops. This one is also expensive. Keep getting the expensive ones. Junior just brought me my pajamas, so that's nice of her. Chain Whip Cyclops. It is a 5 cost. Target creature cannot block this turn, so it has an ability that you have to pay 4 for, but it does cause a target creature to not be able to block. That's not bad. 5 for a 4/4, and then you have to pay an additional 4 to activate its ability. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it to me. I mean, it's sort of nice in that it is a 4/4, so if they have somebody who can block it, you can prevent them from blocking it by spending mana. The likelihood of being able to spend all that mana in one turn is pretty low. Definitely not early on. This is a later game creature, but yeah, I'm not seeing it as anything special. Let's just put it that way. Teo's Light Shield. When Teo's Light Shield enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So this costs 3, is a white, and is a 0/3, and lets you add a +1/+1 counter to any other creature that you have. So it doesn't attack, but it's a defender, but it doesn't have the ability, it doesn't have the descriptor defender, which means that it can attack if you give it, for instance, a +1/+1 counter. But I ate some of my own hair. That's rough. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this card. It seems sort of expensive for what it does, but if you do have a deck in which you're relying a lot on +1/+1 counters, it wouldn't be a bad one to have. Especially if you had a lot of proliferates later in the deck, because you've given a +1/+1 counter that allows you to later proliferate and add another one. I've been really good about saying the word proliferate. Well, of course, now I screwed up. Proliferate. I just want you all to be. Banehound. I think I've definitely seen this card before. I think we may have had it last week. It is a cost 1 for a 1/1, and it has lifelink and haste. So that's a good card. Maybe we didn't have this one because I don't remember telling you that. But I've seen it before, and it's a good card because lifelink means that when it does damage to anything, you get an equal amount of life back as a player. So say you've been taken down a peg by your opponent, you can increase your life a little bit. Even if you're not doing damage, even if this guy dies, you do still get the one lifelink. It costs 1, so like that's not bad. For 1/1, that's pretty standard, but it also has lifelink and it has haste, which means it can attack on its first turn. Which you're probably not going to be defending with this creature unless you're in a pinch. So this is a great early game creature to get out. Like just a really good one because of the lifelink, you can give yourself a bit of a cushion. Also, if they don't have any other creatures out, and you've got this one out, you can attack straight away. I mean, you can attack straight away regardless, but yeah, have a couple of these in a black deck, and you can have a pretty good opening gambit a little bit. Trusted Pegasus. This is a 3-cost 2/2. That's flying. Whenever it attacks, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until end of turn. Oh my goodness! Wait, I have another card like this, like Pegasus Courser or something like that. That does that. It gives another attacking creature flying until end of turn when it attacks. I think it costs the same, but I think it's a 2/3. So this would not be as good as that if I'm remembering it correctly. Altogether, not bad. 2/2 for a 3-cost, and it has flying and the ability to make everything else flying. I'm sort of on the fence about whether it's worth its cost, but it's pretty helpful to have flying creatures, especially when your opponent does not have them. So would not downplay that for sure. So those are all the creatures that came out in this deck. We're really plowing through these, and I think that's because I am now trusting you to hold this information a little bit better in your head. Although there's also a lot of spells in this one. Okay, so we've got Dread Horde Invasion. It's a 2-cost black enchantment card. So you put this one is an enchantment. You just put it out on the battlefield, and it stays there until someone removes it. Usually, you have to have a special card that removes enchantments at the beginning of your upkeep. So that's your turn goes. You draw a card, and then you have your upkeep phase. The upkeep phase, I think that's how it goes anyway. But upkeep phase is where you like untap all the things that were tapped, and you just sort of like do all the things that happen in your upkeep phase, like this, which is at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. So amassing, as you recall, is you put a +1/+1 counter on an army you control. And if you don't control one, you create a 0/0 black army creature token first. For what it's worth, this is that token creature. It also came in the deck, so I thought I'd show it too. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. Zombie token. So basically, you, after a certain number of turns with this out, this will have 6 power or greater. And so then it starts to give you life back. That's actually a pretty cool thing, now that I've talked through it myself. So you put this card out. This card comes out, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. It is now 1 power. You have lost 1 life. Your next turn comes by. You lose 1 life again, and then you put another +1/+1 counter on this. So this is now 2 power, and you've lost 2 life. Fast forward. If you have any other amass cards in your deck, which you should if you have this card, you have added more counters to this, and you have lost more life from this. But now this is a 6 power card, and you are able to attack something, and it has lifelink until the end of the turn. So you attack, especially if you're able to just straight up attack the defending player, then you just get straight up 6 health back. So you pay. It pays for itself basically in your health. And this is an interesting card. It only costs 2 because it does once it's got to stay out there for it to start doing useful things, unless you already have a zombie army card, zombie token with a lot of power on it, which is also possible. This is just a pretty good card. I like it. You'd definitely have to plan your deck and your play around it, but that wouldn't be too hard. And all of these amass cards make me really want to make a deck that bases itself around armies. Because why not? That seems like it could be an interesting strategy. So that is Dread Horde Invasion. Heartwarming Redemption. This is a 4-cost, and it is red and white. It's an instant, which means, if you'll recall, that you can play it on somebody else's turn. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards +1. You gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. So, in a pinch, say you're dying, someone's going to kill you, or come very close to killing you, and you're not too attached to the cards in your hand, you can discard them all, and then draw a new hand, and get 1 health extra. Well, get health equal to the number of cards that you drew, basically. Cool. The art is very bro-y on this one. Well, it's probably pretty blurry to you, but it's a bro card. Okay, next one. We've got Bleeding. This is a sorcery, so you can only play this on your turn. Up to 1 target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Interesting. Amass 2. So put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. This cost. So again, you can play this with the Dread Horde Invasion. And you're sort of increasing your effectiveness and efficiency of that arm card. A -2/-2 until end of turn. That could kill a couple creatures. So if you're just trying to get rid of one of the creatures, you can do that. It could also help you kill them if you have a creature that can almost kill them, but needs, the extra 2 to do the extra damage. So that's helpful for getting rid of frustrating characters that the opponent has on the field. Band Together. This is a green with cost 3. It's an instant. So again, you can play it on the other person's turn if you need to. Up to 2 target creatures you control each deal damage equal to their power to another target creature. So this is sort of like what happens when you attack something, but there is no ability to block it. And they aren't tapped because it's not attacking. It doesn't say anything about tapping them. So and you can use 2 creatures to attack 1 creature, which you can normally only do with banding. Well, this is obviously why it's called Band Together, because it's similar to banding. Banding is an ability, sort of like lifelink or death touch or something. Banding allows creatures to band together to attack another creature. Steady Aim. This is an instant, and it's a 2 cost. Not a bad one. Untap target creature. It gets +1/+4 and gives reach until end of turn. Reach means that it can defend against flying creatures. So you could use this if you don't have a flying creature out and your opponent does, and your opponent attacks you with that flying creature. And you just throw this on one of your creatures. It gets a hefty blocking ability with the +4. And has an ability to defend against flying creatures. So you can at least stave off the flying menace until next turn. Last spell here in this one, we've got Aid the Fallen. This is a black card, costs 2. It is a sorcery, so you have to play it on your turn. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's sort of like taking a creature out of your discard pile and getting the ability to play it on your next turn or on this turn if you can. Choose one or both. Choose target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return target planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand, or both. So you can return a target creature and a target planeswalker. That's a pretty good deal. Depending on your planeswalker game, whether it's super useful. That's a good deal. Then we have a land. This is not a basic land, because we also got a swamp, but I'm not too excited about that. This is a black mana card, black land card. But we've got a Gateway Plaza. A gate is a kind of land. I don't really understand what they are, but Gateway Plaza enters the battlefield tapped, so you cannot use it on its first turn. When Gateway Plaza enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1 mana. But so it's a for a land, it's an expensive card. But you can use it when you eventually can use it. You can tap it to get 1 mana of any color. So that's nice. It keeps you from feeling mana starved in one or the other or more of the colors that you have in your deck. And then last but not least are Planeswalker. For this, is Jaya, Venerated Mage. She costs 5, and she has 5 loyalty. So that's sort of like her life points. Her static spell that is always in play when she's on the field is if another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. Permanent. I think a creature is a permanent. It's just not I don't know. I'm really confused by the term permanent, but I can just look it up and I would know. So I'll do that in a second, and then we can discover it together. -2, the one she loses health for, the spell, is she deals 2 damage to any target. So she's not bad, especially if you have other planeswalkers on the field. But I don't know that +1 damage is really worth the 5 cost that she has. However, I'm thinking about her in relation to this other planeswalker that I have, Chandra, who's also coincidentally a fire mage. And Chandra, one of Chandra's spells is you can, can't remember, you can use one of her loyalty to get mountain mana or fire red mana. So if you could use that to get her out, you wouldn't do that. She's not terrible. If another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. It's not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. All right, so that is our booster pack for the day. It took me about 20 minutes to go through that one. Maybe by next week, I can get it down to 10 minutes. That's less than a minute per card. Seems unlikely. But I'm going to really quick Magic the Gathering. Ooh, Google's not going to like that. Wait, please. Magic the Gathering. Permanent. Land creatures, artifacts, enchantments, and planeswalkers are permanents. They enter the battle after you cast them. Token creatures are also permanents. Instants and sorceries are not permanents. So there you go. There it is. Pretty much everything's a permanent. Unless, get this, it's not permanent, in which case it's not a permanent. What? Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go to work. Today's also grocery shopping day. And we're testing video conferencing in court today. So good luck to us. Make good choices in your life. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. And I will see you tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesdays.